This is Texas Living with Hillary Kennedy and Kimberly Whitman.
You know, it's the American dream to be your own boss, but in this economy, it's not always easy to know the best way to start your own business. And Trey Bowles, the chairman of Startup Texas, is here today to teach us the 5 most important elements of starting a business and how to make it work for you. Hi, Trey. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
So it is truly the American dream for someone to kind of own their own business and be their own boss. What are some ways that we can successfully start that process?
Well, I think the first one is that you have to dream big. You have to believe that you can do it. One of the great things about entrepreneurs is that they say yes when everybody else says no. And so that's important. The second piece of that, though, is to make sure that you're doing what I call calculated entrepreneurship. A lot of people want to take all their money out of their 401k, throw it in, go head first, dive into something. I tell people to jump in, not dive in.
Right.
So if you look at entrepreneurship like a pool, you need to walk over to the pool, you need to look down, and you need to see how deep is the water. You need to see, well, once I jump in, how can I get out?
Right.
And then, do I even know how to swim? And once you've done those things, kind of go through a feasibility analysis of all the different elements. Is there interest in your product or service? Who's the target that you're going to sell it to? Will people even buy this? That's when you're able to really jump in, because if you jump in, you might bruise your tailbone, but you won't break your neck.
Right, so be realistic.
Be realistic.
Don't just go all in. Okay. Well, so what about finding someone to kind of help you along?
Absolutely. Finding a co-founder and a team is extremely important. Much like real estate, where the most important thing is location, location, location. One of the most important things of starting any business is your team.
Okay.
So you've got to find a co-founder who complements you, doesn't supplement you. If you had 2 left arms, you wouldn't be nearly as successful as if you had 1 left and 1 right. You need to look that way when you're building a company.
Right.
Put together the right team with the right resources so that you have people around you that can help you be successful. I always tell people, if you're the smartest person in your company at more than one thing, then you're doing something wrong. So part of that is building that team, and then part of your team includes mentors, advisors, boards of directors. You need to go out and find people who have done this before you, have seen success in it, are willing to come alongside and help you do the same things.
Kind of glean some of their wisdom.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Nobody knows everything, and so the people who don't do that, you have a lot of visionaries who come up with ideas and think, I'm going to do it my way or the highway, and they end up failing. If you can ask for help and bring the right people around you, that's how you're really successful.
Learn from the best. Well, so what else can we do? I know creating is a big part of starting your business.
Absolutely. When most people start businesses, they don't have any money. They don't have a full team of people around them. They have to think creatively and innovatively. And that can be, how do you handle a marketing problem with a development guy? Or how do you develop the right creative that can go out and put on brochures that you put out into the community? But really what you have to do is think, how can I be successful without any money? Once you're able to do that, once the money starts coming, it allows you to expand a lot quicker and exponentially as when you first started the company.
It makes everything a lot easier. Well, and something that we talked about this morning is to track everything. Why is that?
Absolutely. In this day and age, when there's so much technology and the internet out there, you have to be able to track everything. I always tell people, I care a lot less about being right than figuring out what is right. So you need to come in there, put the right tools in place, track what you're doing to find out what's working, what's not working, and then make a difference. Lots of companies track things. Lots of companies look at the data that they track. Very few companies make changes based on the data that they find. So that is something that will separate you from everybody else when you're out there starting your first business.
That's really good to know. And then real quickly, we've got about a minute. What about once you have some employees around you, what do you do? What's the best way to handle employees?
You know, I have a friend who says, my employees are the most important part of my business. I think so often we hear your customers are the most important part of your business. But in reality, it's your employees that are servicing your customers. So if you invest in your employees correctly, if you show them that you care about their development, getting them to the next level, helping them be more successful. If you have an employee that comes in at one level and leaves at the same level in your company when they go, then you're not doing your job. So invest in your employees, they will invest in your companies and make your business successful.
And that equals better customer service.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. These are great tips to start your own business and get it going in the right direction.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Well, if you'd like to see more helpful tips on becoming an entrepreneur, including the characteristics of a successful one, you can go to treybowles.com.